Hello everyone, welcome to Task IS. Today we will start Unit 1.3, that is main branches of anthropology, their scope and relevance. So we have discussed earlier in Unit 1.1 scope and relevance of anthropology, where I have discussed about 4 branches of anthropology: sociocultural, biological, linguistic and archaeological. So we will discuss each one of them and their scope and relevance. Firstly, sociocultural anthropology. So for every branch we have to define that branch. So firstly, Evans Pritchard, one of the famous anthropologists, has mentioned that social anthropology has a unique task and its focus on studying social behavior. Here, social behavior is studied in different forms and in terms of social institutions. So, these social institutions can be family, kinship, religion, etc. So, according to him, human being is a social animal, and in social anthropology we are studying social behavior of individual, and that behavior can be studied in different social institutions, and these institutions can be these. So this definition you have to remember word by word. In anthropology you have to write examples, exact definitions, anthropologist name, their books or their works. So these are necessary, and there are many questions regarding how to remember so much facts and how to remember so much anthropologist names. So only trick is that you have to revise these videos again and again. You have to revise your own notes again and again, and you can do one work, that take a A4 loose sheet and after every unit or every chapter mention some 3 or 4 anthropologists and mention their book name and time. If you do this work now, then this will be very handy for you when you will revise your notes, because you have organized facts at one place and you can revise them multiple times. If you revise multiple times, then automatically you will gradually grasp these anthropologist names. Similarly, another anthropologist, that is Radcliffe Brown, he is well known structural functionalist. He has mentioned that social anthropology has a unique task, and this task is to establish social universal laws. According to him, anthropology is more closer to natural sciences, and like natural sciences, anthropology should give a universal law which is applicable for all individuals, and that law can be applied for every behavior or every social aspect. So you can write social cultural anthropology definition by any one of them. Here you should have some question in my mind, that why and this is called as social anthropology or cultural anthropology, or there is any difference between them. So some use this as a social anthropology, but some others use it as a cultural anthropology. Now, what is difference in these terminologies? So social anthropology has origin in Durkheim school of thought. Durkheim is well-known sociologist. So you can automatically connect the social anthropology has more linking or more approach similar to sociology, whereas cultural anthropology has its origin from American anthropologist. Thus it is more different from sociology approach. Another difference can be social anthropology has a synchronic approach. Synchronic means you study every society or every aspect of culture at a given point of time. For example, in during this time period. Like sociology, because in sociology also we study society, modern societies at a given point of time. So this social anthropology is also synchronic in approach, whereas cultural anthropology is diachronic in approach. Diachronic means dynamic and synchronic is static. you can relate these words. So in dynamic approach, we study society as culture throughout time period. For example, in anthropology, we study cultural and biological evolution, because we study these things at a longer time period. So these are diachronic in approach, that is cultural anthropology. Thirdly, we can define that social anthropology is static, thus it focuses on whole complex, how our society and its different components work. These different components can be economic aspect, political aspect, religious aspect, legal aspects, how these have a complex structure, and this complex structure, how this work in our society. Whereas cultural anthropology focus more on dynamic aspect, because it focus how different institutions have different values, and these traditions norms, how these are transferred to one generation, from one generation to another generation. So cultural anthropology is more dynamic in approach. So some anthropologists, especially earlier anthropologists, has used these terms differently, but some anthropologists like Claude Lévi-Strauss and other later postmodernism anthropologists, they don't focus on defining these terms differently, but focus on their work and their approach, because according to them, these are like two different ways to study any society, because ultimately we are focusing on same thing. So thus our ends are same, only means are different here. Thus, he concluded that these both disciplines, social or cultural, these are almost similar in nature. Now, another important term in social cultural anthropology is ethnography and ethnology. We have discussed these terms earlier also in Anthropology Unit 1.1. At that time, I have described you these terms in simple one or two sentences, so that you will become more aware about these simple core aspects of discipline anthropology. Now we will discuss in detail what is ethnography and ethnology. So social cultural anthropology focus on study human society and culture. But how an anthropologist study human society and culture, it differs in its approach, and these two approaches can be ethnographic approach and ethnologic approach. Firstly, ethnography. In this, we study a society at a given point of time, and this was studied without any reference of any other society. Whereas in ethnology, we focus on studying that society by comparing to other societies. So there is cross cultural comparison in ethnology. Thus, you can say that in ethnology there is chances of biasness. But ethnography is more objective in nature, because if you are comparing from others, then probably you have considered one is superior and then another is inferior. Now in ethnography, various processes like organizing, describing, analyzing or interpretation of data, all this work done in detail. In ethnology, these are some earlier parts. After that, there is focus on making some hypothesis that this is more superior or this is earlier stage of evolution. Some hypothesis is made, and then data is collected to prove or disprove this hypothesis, because here you are focusing on comparing. Here comparison aspect is more important. In ethnology, generally it is says that this promotes ethnocentrism. In ethnocentrism means when someone is judging others cultures from their point of view, and they are judging that this is right, this is wrong. But how can someone judge another's culture without knowing that culture, without understanding roots of that culture? So this, thus ethnocentrism is considered bad, whereas ethnography is more focused by cultural relativist. This concept says that every culture is relative and we should focus on every culture from its point of view. We should not judge, because if you judge a society like tribal society by comparing it with some western developed society, then it's not a justice to that tribal society. You are not studying their aspects from their point of view. So ethnography, ethnology, you have understood basic definitions and their differences. Now last thing is why ethnography and ethnology both are so important for anthropology. Although there are some limitations of ethnology, but still it is important and still used in our discipline. So ethnography, in ethnography we study every aspect in detail, thus this is useful for understanding every culture or every aspect in detail. So its usefulness is clearly understood in simple terms. How ethnography is useful? So now focus that if we can't compare, then how we can measure that we are progressing, or how we can determine that evolution sequence, what is evolution sequence. So for these aspects comparison is necessary in our discipline. For example, consider 2005 time when MZ was initially started, and then 2010 time. If some anthropologist is comparing these societies, then comparison method is utilized to judge or to analyze what was the performance of scheme. Thus even ethnology also has some importance in our discipline. That's why this approach is still surviving in our discipline. So till now we have discussed ethnography and ethnology also in detail. Now why study simple societies? Because it is generally said that in especially in social cultural anthropology focus is more on simple societies. Why? So this can be answered in different points. Firstly, these simple societies has their own unique culture, unique aspects. Their political or economic life also has roots in their social cultural aspects. Why they are not using plow in their field? Why they don't have any state or army for protecting them? Why there is more focus on exchange or organizing large ceremonies? So why so much focus on social status? So these aspects or their customs traditions need special study. So this is important to study them. First aspect you can consider this. Secondly, if some new technology came up, then technology firstly used by some western world country and also used by some tribal society. So don't you feel that this tribal society will be much more impacted as compared to western country? Their individuals also even now have such access to modern technologies that even a small or new technology not much impact their life, but their life can be impacted in large way. So they are rapidly transforming in this globalized world. So there is need to understand these social changes. Now thirdly, they are simple society for every social institutions like family, kinship, marriage. They have simple methods or unique aspects. So to understand origin of any institution like marriage, family, kinship, we have to understand those society. For example, if you want to understand how agriculture has developed, then to understand agriculture you have to understand how hunting gathering came up, how pastoralism came up. So these answers can be given by studying these societies. So we have understood why simple society study is important. Now next, development, how social cultural anthropology has developed. So there are earlier many attempts to study human societies or culture, especially during colonial time, because that time empire is spreading to different places of world, and they want to understand how different societies and different cultures, especially those backward societies according to them. So there are some initial studies, but most organized effort was done by Tyler, because he has established a separate discipline in Oxford University, and he was one of the armchair anthropologists. Armchair anthropologists, they were not going to field for study. What they are doing, they are collecting secondary data. Here secondary data means they are not going directly into the field to collect data, but they are using other sources. For example, they are using some administrative data, some survey by Christian missionaries. So they are using these data to collect information about the people. Now, Francois, he was one of the American anthropologists. He is well known for promoting fieldwork tradition in anthropology, and his work is North Pacific Expedition, and he sowed seeds for fieldwork in anthropology. Later, Torres Strait Expedition was done by Haddon and Rivers also. Have patience, you will understand these anthropologists later in unit 6. Now you should focus on grasping these stories. That first Taylor has come, then some anthropologists like Boas, who has diverted our attention to fieldwork studies, then Haddon and Rivers also done some fieldwork study. But most important person in fieldwork studies is Malinowski. He is great British anthropologist, and according to him we should live a long time in field, and there we should focus on learning language of those people and interacting with them, participate in their various festivals, occasions, etc., and understood even those aspects which are not clearly shown, because in everyday's life some aspects can be clearly seen but some are not visible, so understand those aspects also. So his efforts led to starting of main important method, that is participant observation. He has done his study, firstly main study in Trobriand Islands. Now this was done in 19th century. After 20th century, social cultural anthropology got his place in various other countries and continents, and later others theories. For example, earlier they have focused, armchair anthropologists focus more on evolution. Now different aspects were covered by these Francois and Haddon, Malinowski, but later other many different theories like structure, culture, personality, postmodernism, different theories have came. So if you have to write a short note on sociocultural anthropology's development, you can write these is a framework. After that you have to write these points from unit 6. If I mention more points from unit 6 here, then you will become bored because you will not understand what I am mentioning. So that's why I am giving you some structure or draft of these units, and you can write your own examples to make them more specific. Now, uniqueness of social cultural anthropology. So there are some unique points, like unique points of anthropology. Firstly, holistic study, because it considers that social aspects, whether it will be economic or it is political, these are all connected. So if you want to study one aspect like political, then we have to consider other aspects also, but because they are all are integrated. Now, cultural relativism. As I have earlier explained, cultural relativism is to counter ethnocentrism, and according to it, if you are studying any society or any culture, you have to understand from their point of view with objectivity. And all cultural patterns are equally valid, because you can't say that barbarism or eating meat is wrong. You can't say these words. Now, cross-cultural comparison. So, social cultural anthropology has this unique aspect because here we are using comparative method to trace evolution of every culture, social cultural aspect. Now, lastly is fieldwork. So, especially fieldwork is important to collect primary data and to study any society or culture in detail, and participant observation is one of the important method that was promoted by Malinowski, and this is important technique in fieldwork observation to collect data. Participant observation, you can understand this meaning from word itself. Participant, you are participating in their activities and observing what they are doing. Now, relevance. In our syllabus, word is mentioned scope and relevance of different branches. But if I have not covered these points, social cultural anthropology or development, then how you can write relevance? Because in relevance, when you have to write answer, you can write some extra points here and there to connect dots, like cultural relativism, like fieldwork studies. So these points has relevance. Now this is directly mentioned in our syllabus. Here also I am giving some points. When you will study these different units like political anthropology, economic anthropology, then you can write any case study from these units here to make your answer more specific. So firstly, by cultural relativism we can reduce anthropocentrism, and we can reduce that superior or inferior complex that is present in our societies. Secondly, applied anthropologists. Here applied anthropologists are using knowledge of anthropology in other aspects. So they are working with NGO, with corporate firms, with educational institutions. So they are using anthropology knowledge in different fields, and these fields can be medical, urban anthropology, education anthropology. So we can explain some examples like medical anthropologists. So they are using how social cultural dimension has importance in medical terms, because if some society is considering that someone is not ill till the time he can stand up by himself, then they will not go for treatment till the time he is so much ill. These small cultural factors has role in determining status of our health in medical anthropology. Now urban anthropologists, they have specially role in expanding cities where there are rural area here, core urban area here. Now areas these transition areas has mixing of rural as well as urban culture. So anthropologists are interested in these society because here is culture change is happening. Culture changes how their behavior pattern, how their lifestyle is changing. So relevance of culture anthropologists are also here. Similarly in business or in corporate firms, if you want to that your product should be sold in some society A or B, then you have to understand what the cultural needs of those society, then you can manipulate your product accordingly. For example, if Domino's has not utilized cultural knowledge of India, that during Navratra time mostly Indians avoid eating non-veg, and they are also focusing on fasting. So Domino's is now making pizza specially for fast. So similarly other institutions are also utilizing socio cultural knowledge for their business. So I have covered relevance part with examples also. Now remaining topics, biological, physical as well as archaeological and linguistic. I will cover these topics in next class.